and I've said this already, is that Nigeria has not reached its full potential. Nigeria should be the powerhouse of Africa, and it is not, because it has been held back by corruption and all the other bits and pieces that we hear about, but it is a great country.
Growing up in Nigeria, I saw real poverty. I experienced it. Living without electricity, doing my homework by candlelight, because the state electricity board couldn't provide power.
See, I'm the first Nigerian-American elected as U.S. representative.
When you think of Nigeria, the first things that often come to mind are music, movies, sports, and business. From Afrobeats to Nollywood, from footballers dazzling on global pitches to entrepreneurs making waves across Africa, Nigeria's influence is undeniable. But there is another area where Nigerians are steadily making their mark, and that is in politics, not only at home, but across the globe.
You're a man of Nigerian descent. How did you make it here?
Well, I've been in the United States for 36 years.
In countries like the United Kingdom, the United States, and Canada, Nigerians have risen to powerful positions, shaping laws, leading communities, and reminding the world that leadership truly knows no borders. Let's begin in the United Kingdom, home to one of the largest Nigerian diasporas in Europe. Over the years, Nigerians have not only integrated into British society but have also stepped into the spotlight of British politics. 1. Kemi Badenoch, United Kingdom. Kemi Badenoch is one of the most remarkable Nigerian figures in British politics today.
Growing up in Nigeria, I saw real poverty. I experienced it. Living without electricity, doing my homework by candlelight, because the state electricity board couldn't provide power. Born
Kemi Oluwole to Nigerian parents, she spent part of her childhood in Nigeria before returning to the UK for her education. She joined the Conservative Party and quickly rose through the ranks, becoming one of its brightest stars. Today, she serves as Secretary of State for Business and Trade, one of the most important positions in the government. Known for her bold and sometimes controversial views on culture, free speech, and social issues, Badenoch has become a central figure in national debates. Many even see her as a potential future Prime Minister. Her story is proof that Nigerians abroad do not only blend into their new environments, they rise to lead them. 2. Chuka Umunna, United Kingdom. Another Nigerian who left his mark on British politics is Chuka Umunna. Born in London to a Nigerian father and an Irish mother, Umunna was once described as the British Obama because of his eloquence and his appeal as a young black leader.
I've said this already, is that Nigeria has not reached its full potential. Nigeria should be the powerhouse of Africa, and it is not, because it has been held back by corruption and all the other bits and pieces that we hear about, but it is a great country. So the job of the new generations coming through is to ensure that in the next 50 years, that Nigeria realises its potential, and I will do everything I can as the Vice Chair of the House of Commons All-Party Parliamentary Group on Nigeria to make sure that that happens.
He served as a Member of Parliament for Streatham and became one of the most recognisable faces in the Labour Party. He spoke passionately about equality, diversity, and fairness in the economy. Later in his career, he shifted to the Liberal Democrats, where he continued to be a prominent voice during the turbulent years of Brexit. Though he eventually stepped away from frontline politics, his influence remains, and his journey stands as a symbol of what it means to be Nigerian and European at the same time, rooted in identity but open to the world. 3. Femi Oluwole, United Kingdom. The Nigerian presence in UK politics does not stop with elected officials. Femi Oluwole, though not a politician in the traditional sense, has been one of the most vocal Nigerian British voices in national debates. As a co-founder of Our Future, Our Choice, a youth-led movement against Brexit, he became a frequent face on British television, challenging government policies and speaking for young people who felt ignored during the Brexit process. Though his path has been more activism than politics, he shows how Nigerians abroad are deeply involved in shaping the societies they live in. 4. Owolewa, United States. From the historic halls of Westminster, we now cross the Atlantic to the United States. One of the most inspiring stories is that of Owolewa.
Parents who were born and raised in Nigeria, who taught me about community, about selflessness, giving back to others.
Born to Nigerian parents, Oy made history in 2020 when he was elected as the first Nigerian-American to serve in the United States Congress. Although his role as the shadow representative for Washington, D.C. is symbolic and non-voting, it carries enormous significance. Owolewa has been a strong advocate for D.C. statehood, pushing for full representation in Congress, and he also champions issues that matter to immigrant families. His victory was not just about politics, it was about representation. For young Nigerian Americans, seeing one of their own elected to office was proof that they, too, could achieve leadership roles in the most powerful democracy in the world. 5. Segun Adeyina, United States. Another Nigerian making waves in America is Segun Adeyina. A Nigerian-born lawmaker, he was elected to the Georgia House of Representatives in 2020. Representing District 110, Adeyina has focused on issues such as education, healthcare, and immigrant rights.
You're a man of Nigerian descent. How did you make it here?
Well, I've been in the United States for 36 years.
His story reflects the Nigerian tradition of community leadership. Wherever Nigerians go, they not only build successful lives for themselves but also take responsibility for the communities around them.
Most Africans, we have a concern on what's going on in our communities. And having been a strong advocate both in the Nigerian and African.
6. Toks Omishakin, United States. Toks Omishakin's path is slightly different, as he has been more of a technocrat than a politician. Born in Tennessee to Nigerian parents, Omishakin rose to prominence in transportation policy. He served as the Commissioner of Transportation in Tennessee before becoming the Director of California's Department of Transportation, where he oversees one of the largest and most complex transportation systems in the world. His work shows that leadership and influence can take many forms, even outside of elected office. 7. Kemi Madu, Canada. While Nigerian Americans are still building their presence, Nigerians in Canada have already broken historic barriers. One of the most outstanding examples is Kemi Madu. Born and raised in Nigeria, Madu migrated to Canada and worked as a lawyer before entering politics. In 2019, he made history when he was appointed Minister of Justice and Solicitor General of Alberta, becoming the first black person to ever hold such a position in Canada. His appointment was celebrated as a milestone not only for Nigerians but for all black Canadians. Madu's story represents resilience and ambition, the idea that no matter where Nigerians go, they find ways to rise to the top. 8. Esther Agbaje, United States. Esther Agbaje was born into a family of Nigerian immigrants in Minnesota. She pursued higher education including law, and entered public service. In 2020, she won election to the Minnesota House of Representatives for District 59B. She has focused on housing policy, tenant protections, elections, taxes, and finance among other issues. Through her work, she emphasizes social justice, equality, and inclusion. For many in the Nigerian diaspora, her election was inspirational, a demonstration that with commitment and service, you can shape policy in your community even if you didn't grow up there. Why Nigerians thrive abroad? So why do Nigerians succeed so strongly in politics abroad? Part of the answer lies in education. Nigerians in the diaspora are among the most highly educated immigrant groups in the world. In the United States and Canada, Nigerians often have higher levels of university education than the average population. This educational foundation gives them the tools to compete in law, business, and politics. Another factor is resilience. Migration itself is never easy. It requires sacrifice, determination, and hard work. Nigerians abroad often start with little but steadily build their way up. Finally, there is culture. In Nigeria, leadership is often seen as a duty, whether in the family, the community, or the nation. That culture of responsibility travels with Nigerians wherever they go, often pushing them into roles of influence.